I have a lot of beef with how people talk about dead malls. The Orlando Fashion Square Mall is not a active or semi-active mall. It's pretty dead. Right now there is a Panera, and that's about it. There's some smaller stores. There's also a karate center. So if you're looking to get your black belt, definitely come here. But it is a dead mall. And whenever people talk about it, they talk about it in a urban explorer sense. A lot about, oh, well, how creepy is this? How weird is this? Oh my gosh, there's no people. And yes, I do understand. Don't get me wrong, there are not a lot of people that come here. And the people who do come here, yeah, you might see one or two. And being in any large open area or any place with less than 5 people is going to be a little weird and a little creepy. Don't get me wrong. But people talk about these places as if they are the scariest places on earth and that there's a complete devoid of life and love and enjoyment. And these places are, pretty dangerous, pretty scary places. And that's just not the case. And a lot of the videos I've seen of the Fashion Square Mall right now definitely have that type of feeling. So today, I'm not an urban explorer. I'm not a content creator like this, but I wanted to walk you guys around the Orlando Fashion Square Mall. I wanted to tell you a little bit about its history and just kind of go over a little bit about what made the mall unique and what maybe wasn't so unique about it. I think it's really wonderful that so many kids have had so similar experiences of going to a place after school with their friends, hanging out, getting those free samples of the little bourbon chicken that they would pass out. And I think that's awesome. But I really just want to focus on it in a loving and happy sense. I've also recorded some footage so you guys get to watch something while I ramble for 20 minutes about the Fashion Square Mall and all the wonderful things that have happened here. So I'd love to tell you a little bit more about the Orlando Fashion Square Mall and its history. So just to start, it wasn't actually always a mall. It was actually a Sears that opened in 1963. 10 years later, the original plans for the mall were created and they were expanded into a second anchor store. That would be a Burndon's, which is known as the Florida store. So it's Florida's very own department store, and they're best known for selling carriages. So, you know, that was a while ago. A little bit more recently, though, 2 years after the opening of the Burndons and the creation of the mall as a building, this is when things started to really pick up. A freestanding movie theater was built on an outer parcel of land near the mall, and there were a creation of 2 more additional spots for anchor stores. Those became a Dillard's, a Gayfers, a J.C. Penney. This is where the modern mall really starts to take shape. Now, there's no longer a J.C. Penney and there's no longer a Macy's, but in 2002, after an interior renovation was completed, a new movie theater was opened by Premier Cinemas, which finished construction in 2004. This is the point where a lot of modern memories about the Orlando Fashion Square Mall really start to form. Is in 1994, a little event called Construction was created. I am 100% sure that 99% of the people here do not know what construction is. And essentially, I'm going to throw some footage up so you can kind of see. It is building various things out of cans. Uh, yeah, I don't really know, but it's one of those things where I'm sure you have memories of something like this at your local mall, where it was just a bunch of people doing something. This was really exciting because it contributed 40,000 pounds of canned food to Second Harvest and other beneficiaries. So here's just some more footage of it going on. They really build all this stuff. It's kind of interesting. So the majority of the footage that we've kind of looked through so far has largely been the construction and the upstairs portion of the Fashion Square Mall. So this next bit of footage is a lot more focused on the downstairs. So while I ramble, I'm just going to let this play, but I do want to focus on this one little area coming up right here. So if you see this very strange looking wall, This isn't. This wasn't always a wall, actually. This was the entrance to the Sears. So I think it's just this. I will say is a little bit odd and a little bit creepy that they would board it up this way. But I do understand that there's now nothing on the other side of that wall, so it's definitely a little bit tricky. But I do kind of think this is one of my favorite parts of the mall, just because I feel like this would have been such an exciting little bit to go to at one point. I think Sears, again, just like a lot of malls, is now seen as this kind of sad and dying thing, but it was just kind of so cool at the time to go to a Sears and see all the stuff that they had, granted, 20 years ago. And if you're still watching this footage, I really thank you for. I'm sure you guys won't be absolutely awful and mean and terrible, ill trodden creatures and mention how unstable the footage is. I recorded it on, again, a mini DV camera, a DCR TRV-17 Sony camera. So not only is it already unstable as all hell, but also I got in trouble recording the day before. So I didn't want to get in trouble again, so I held it to my chest, very oddly, like kind of, I'm trying to, you can't see, but it's like under my armpit and under my chest, I guess, to hide it. And turns out, everything would, bounce with each step, so it's kind of fucked. But, you know, you get what you get. Not to get too rambly, but I think one of the big things is with people missing those third places, dead malls have kind of become a new third place. Somewhere you can go where you don't have to spend money, mainly because you don't have the opportunity to do so, unless, again, you really want that black belt, which I'll let you know it's coming up right here where you can see the karate store. In the footage, I don't really go too into stores just because I kind of wanted to respect the people who were there. But if you look to your left, it's right there. Again, I'm not trying to focus too much on it because there were people there. But again, it's one of those places where people can explore and they don't have to spend money. And I think it's really awesome that although the mall might be dead in, many ways, economically for sure, foot traffic for sure, people still find the opportunity to enjoy themselves here and reminisce on those memories of construction and the premiere cinema and anything else they might have done. There was actually Claire's in this corner as well, so maybe you even got your first piercing there. So exciting, you can get your cartilage just absolutely blown out. But it's really cool to see, young couples walk around. I'm not 100% sure that I got any, but there were definitely some people who were just here to do something. So, if there's anything that you took away, please just visit your local mall, whether it is a bustling economic center where you can spend $200,000 on a Versace bag and a Gucci flip flops, whatever, through his socks. But just go and have fun. Find your own fun. Do whatever you want to do. There are old candy machines that you can look and just remember those weird gobstoppers that were Willy Wonka branded or do a variety of things. This mall actually has a hurricane little stupid thing and these trashy VR experiences that you can make fun of. There's plenty of things to do at malls, and even your foot traffic brings a little more life into these places, especially before they are going to be destroyed. I think the Orlando Fashion Square Mall does not have a lot of time left, and I think it's going to be demolished soon. So before then, have a few more memories that you can reminisce about and tell your kids about. Look up not this video because you're gonna have a furry in the corner and explain that to your kids. So have fun with that. But check out this YouTube video that I'm gonna talk about in a few seconds, or I guess this whole channel. But reminisce and go to your local movie theater, go to your local mall, go to a place where you can just not spend money. I know that you have to spend money at movie theaters, but you get my point. So now that we've explored the Fashion Square Mall and that we've walked around, learned a bit more about it, I would advise you to check out this YouTube channel, Fashion Square PR. It goes over a bunch of the things that we talked about, from the construction to the block parties, whether they be the holiday or the Halloween ones or just the general ones. So definitely check that out and visit your mall before it's too late, because you never know what's going to happen.